Welcome to this episode of the Comedy Defect podcast. My name is Winter, I'm a comedian, and this is my show. Those that are new to the show, welcome. Those that are old to the show, thanks for coming back, guys. This is episode 116, and like all the other episodes, I speak to comedians about comedy, why they started, what inspired them, how they feel they are on stage, what they are. And look, if you're toying with the idea of getting on stage and doing comedy, hopefully this podcast will help you. And there's some nuggets of information in these episodes. And I think maybe it's because I recorded them during the lockdown. I had more time to sort of like pick at the conversation and kind of delve into it a little bit. And I kind of let it breathe a bit more. And some of these episodes, I really think I couldn't do any better. And I hope you find something that's important to you and maybe will help you launch into whatever creative endeavor you want to. Now, this episode is 116 with Stephanie Laing. I gigged with Stephanie when she first started years ago. She's gone a couple more years before me, but she was excellent when I saw her and always wanted to have her on the podcast. She's on Twitter as Stephanie_Laing. That's STEPHANNIE _LAING. That's Twitter, and she's there as Stephanie Laing Comedian on Instagram and Facebook. So go and check her stuff out, go and see her stuff live. She is very funny, and I hope you enjoy this conversation I had with her because she talks very candidly, I say, about mental health and the things she was struggling with during the lockdown, and I hope you get something out of it. And if you do, tell your friends about this episode, and because it tells people where we are and what we're up to. And if you want to follow her, go find her on all those places I said. And if you want to follow me, you can. I'm on Instagram at WinterDominus. I'm on Twitter at WinterDominus and TikTok as there as well. I'll be putting some videos up there pretty soon when I got a bit more time to create some videos. Now, you can also find me on the first Tuesday of the month in Redbourne because I run a gig there. I also get people that have been on live at the Apollo, and also we get people that are just breaking from the comedy circuit into TV, and people that are just brand new as well. So look, and I host the whole thing, and when I can get up the stairs. If you are interested in comedy and you want to start comedy, you can come there and talk to me about comedy and how to get started. Or you can message me and you don't have to come to the gig, but there's only a small amount of tickets there, so like 40 or 50 we can get in that room, but it's really a lovely venue and we have some real interesting things happen. They're an older crowd and they do not take any prisoners. They're lovely to play because they've seen a lot, and so you have to really work to get them laughing, and I love that. It challenges me every time I go down there. It's brilliant. So it's the first Tuesday of the month in Redbourne, the Mad Hatter's Tea Room, and I say we get people from live at the Apollo, people breaking into TV, and people are just brand new as well, and they got some good comedy chops and they get their legs in these venues, man. This is where comedy lives, as I say. Now, if you want to follow us, we're on Facebook. You can go like the page. You can also join the Comedy Defect Facebook group where I post the podcast and also post the gig dates and ticket links there too. And I say you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok if you want to there. But this is episode 116 with the excellent comedian. She's just wonderful. She's gigged all over the world, and you get to hear her talk about her comedy career and how she's feeling during the lockdown and some stuff that she's got coming up as well. So episode 116, Stephanie Laing, enjoy. Stephanie Laing, thank you so much for spending the next hour or so of your time with me on the Comedy Defect. How are you doing in this, Monday evening?
I am pretty good, yes. I'm tired because, like a lot of comedians, I have a frickin' day job now.
What is it?
Busy. I'm a community organiser.
Okay. It sounds that you're helping at least some part of the community, unless you're organising riots.
I'm organising hate crimes.
Awesome. It needs to be done. Someone's got to do it. It's a tough job.
I'm very busy. There's a lot of them going on.
I mean, yeah, they're so hard to police. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it in films.
Thankfully, otherwise I'd have no work.
This is true.
Yeah, it's good. I did a master's in community organising a few years ago, and I've sort of done it on a volunteer basis since then. And then I thought, if I have to have a job that isn't comedy, it might as well be something where I make myself useful.
Fair play, because comedy is just pure narcissism wrapped up in ego, isn't it? Really, that's all it is, isn't it? Pursuit of love from somewhere else because we can't rely on our own self-esteem and self-worth, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an expression of dysfunction.
There we go. That's it. Much more succinct. So that's good though. I mean, I when I was like started comedy years ago, I was like I went to try and become a fireman, and because that was the other option. I was like, oh, I want to be a fireman. Okay, cool. And I was doing something like called civil defense, which is like helping the community, like being part of like, you know, if a catastrophe happens or someone goes missing, you go searching for them, a bit like St. John's Ambulance, but with climbing gear and stuff. And you go, it's really fun. It's like called the land rescue is what we kind of like, you know, I guess official term. It was amazing, really good fun, really enjoyed it, and it was just so nice to be part of the community because after being such a tearaway years gone by, you know, and you know, coming back and do something. And then I went into I built all this stuff up, and I went to do an interview to become a fireman, training really hard, and then went to pass the interview, no problem. And the guy said to me, it was just miles away from where I live in the middle of nowhere, back and beyond. I mean, this Skibbereen is like a big town compared to this place. And it was like, there's a population of about maybe 20,000 or something small like that. And this other place was like maybe 5,000 people. And the guy said, if a job comes up near you, will you go for that instead? I was like, no, I'm going to stay here. 2,000 people. I will definitely. I'm committed to Kanturk. And then anyway, so a job came up, didn't it? Of course, my fucking luck. Like about 2 weeks later, and I applied for that as well. and I walked into the interview, and the guy was sitting there who I just said, no, I wouldn't apply for the one that's near me. And I was like, I looked at him, he looked at me and went, you're so not going to get this. You're so not. I mean, I passed the other interview in the tiny town, but the one that I really wanted, which was a really lovely little town just a bit further from me, it was, you know, they were like, no, you're not getting this. It was hilarious, just the kind of like, oh damn it, Cork, why didn't I think Cork's a big place? They only have one guy that's going to be doing these interviews. I mean, come on, Winter. Anyway, yeah, I didn't think that one through, but anyway, so passed the interview. Failed the medical. I wrote down I had childhood asthma, so that was not a bad thing to have if you want to be a fireman. But that's great though. You're doing something. You're giving something back. That's amazing. You know.
Are you from Skibbereen?
Yeah, Skibbereen. That's right.
God, I know Skibbereen.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been there a couple of times when I was a teenager.
Wow.
So to go there and stay at a place called Maria's Schoolhouse.
Yes.
And then we'd go out on like canoe in the sea and shit.
Yeah, the little multi-activity pursuit place, but run by Mick Murphy. Yeah, that's right. That he who climbed Everest. I think he's one of the, you know, years ago he was like on you know, if you don't know if you know the Gay Byrne. You know, the Gay Byrne show, which is like the talk show in Ireland. And he, every Friday night, God, it was the thing that came on. You're like, oh, great. Well, that's the evening done. The only thing we liked was the Late Late Toy Show, and that was it. And we got to see all the new toys that we couldn't afford or were like totally out of stock because you couldn't get them, you know. I think Gay Byrne had the only amount of stock left of those toys, you know, like, oh, great, we'll get them in 3 years. But it was like, but yeah, the McMurphy ran that place. Oh, yeah, God, that's great. So you know Lochine then, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I love that. I used to, you know, when I was working in West Cork, when I went away, came back, and then broke on my ass, and then worked as the same job that I started, the first job I ever had. I went away, did my degree, came back, and my boss must have been like, oh my God, what's the point of you going away? You just come straight back to where you started. And I was earning money again, building stone walls, and I'd go to Lochine, and then after hammering stones and building, working with cement all day, I swim from peer to peer. It was the healthiest I've ever been in my life. But the first time I did it, I was terrified because I thought, I'm gonna get eaten by a shark here.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. But yeah, and there was a big movement in the water, and I was like, oh my God, that's it, I'm done. But I swam very fast. How I die. Yeah, this is it. I mean, it'd be a cool way, wouldn't it, to get attacked by a shark? How do you get the shark?
Is called the word? I don't know.
Well, I mean, not for you, but the story would be amazing, you know.
I've always wanted to die in a way that would be really funny for my family to tell people about. To be like, oh, she was kicked to death by a swan off a bridge.
Wow.
Like, I just, yeah.
You kicked to death by a swan. You've got to really stay still for that, haven't you? They've got small feet.
You've got to let that happen.
Totally. No, this is going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it for an obituary. It really is. It's going to be like, oh, you know, and like every time a swan flies by, God, dead bastards. Oh, they may look beautiful to you, but they've got a mean streak. I'm going into Holy Grail now. So look, you did your degree in that, or did you do like a course while you were doing comedy as well?
I did a master's
master's.
community organising.
Oh. Yeah. And what did you do before your master's?
My first degree was English and French in Aberdeen, and then left it a couple of years and then did the master's in London. And now I'm a comedian, but I'm actually using one of my degrees. Who would have thunk it? Who even does that?
That's great. Amazing. Like, I mean, I did my degree in media. So, you know, I mean, okay. I press play occasionally on, you know, my my iPod. So I guess that makes it all worth it. Hey,
investment, yeah.
I mean, technically, this is media too, I guess. I mean, I'm really reaching for this now. So, yeah, this is media too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcasting is media.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't count as a credit. Doesn't count as a credit at all.
You're doing life real good. This will be on IMDb, right?
Smashing it. Yeah, this is what it is. As self. Who were you? Self. Yeah.
Oh, I'm always self in everything.
Well, that's good. At least you don't change. I mean, on the outside, I guess. The inside is just...
No, I don't evolve or grow as a person.
Oh, that's good. I think that's what Fringe shows are all about, isn't it? You show the problem, you talk about it, and at the end, you're exactly the same as when you started, which is brilliant.
Yeah, no journeys here. Thank you.
No, it's a journey of discovery and then rediscovery that you can't change it, isn't it? That's what it is. Life is slightly elastic, and the fact that elastic just assumes the same shape as you pulled it out of. So you moved to Manchester. How long ago did you move to Manchester?
I moved to Manchester in 2015, but then I left Manchester in 2017 and moved to Milton Keynes.
Oh.
I'm a winner.
Hey, I live in Hemel Hempstead. Okay, don't worry about it. Damn, son. That's it. But,
son.
Oh, damn.
What a life.
I know it's like a grid town also, but I'm sorry that we don't have enough roundabouts compared to Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes is winning the roundabout game. They try to put all the roundabouts on one roundabout, whereas you've got multiple spots everywhere all over the town, which is a long road followed by a big corner and then slow down. It's so frustrating. So go on. So what'd you do? Move to Milton Keynes for?
I broke up with my boyfriend.
Okay, fun.
Yeah, and I realised that all of my friends were his friends.
Oh.
And I was very lonely. So I moved in with my sister like a winner. I am pronouncing wiener wrong. 2 women in their 30s just hanging out. But now she's moving in. So we were living together at the start of lockdown, and then she moved out because she wanted to move in with her boyfriend. She left me alone. I went insane. Yeah. And now I found a flat by myself in Buckingham.
Buckingham. Where's Buckingham?
Just by Milton Keynes.
So you're
not Milton Keynes. Oh. It's different. It's better.
So you're in Milton Keynes now?
I'm at my parents' house now.
So you're not far from Milton Keynes in Buckingham?
Not far, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good, because I am just starting up the gigs in Hemel. So you're not far, isn't it?
Book me.
Of course, you're in. I was hoping, because I thought you're Manchester straight away. You're straight in the door. Anyway, we'll cut this out, but it's great. I've been trying to book female acts, and it's so
just
hard.
So there's no proof that you said you'd book me. Fuck that. We're keeping it in.
You've recorded it as well. I've recorded everything for evidence. I know what Winter's like. You can't trust him. He's on that list. So you went to Manchester, and you came back down in sadness, and then your sister abandoned you, and then so what have you been doing during lockdown to help you get you through this, apart from being being awesome and being a superhero for the community?
Oh, thanks, mate. First lockdown, I went mad.
Okay.
Fully mad.
Really fully mad. Really like
proper, actually psychotic episodes.
Oh, right.
Mad. It was real bad. I posted about it on Facebook because if you can't get attention out of it, what's the point of going insane?
Oh God, I'm so jealous of that post.
It got so many likes.
Oh God, it's sickening. I just wish I had something like that. It's just I'm sorry. Go on.
Did you see the post?
No, I missed it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna plagiarize it and use it for my own.
So I started getting because I was by myself all the time. I went insane and started getting this thing. Right. I don't know the tone of the podcast, but I'm going for full disclosure.
Oh, fine. Whichever you're comfortable with, it's all good. Okay. You can, and if you don't feel comfortable afterwards, you can take it out. It's fine. It's at any time.
Started getting this thing where I felt like my hands didn't belong to me.
Oh,
they belonged to somebody else.
Okay.
I was really scared of that person, and I didn't want them touching me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want the fingers touching each other. So I just sit on my sofa with my hands out in front of me like little claws. I was crying for an hour at a time. And it sort of happened every few days, and it was really fucking grim. Yeah.
Wow.
First lockdown, mental, but I drew a lot of pictures, which is good.
Yeah. Sorry, go back to the hands. Were they doing things that you were not, you know what I mean? Like doing things by themselves, like typing things or logging into Google and buying things. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just, I'm really intrigued. Like, what was?
They weren't acting independently.
Oh, okay, right.
But I was deeply suspicious of them.
Okay. you're like you're kind of like prejudging. I know you're going to do something bad.
I'm watching you guys.
Yeah. Wow, that's kind of creepy, isn't it? You cannot get away from. That's terrifying.
Yeah, because you can't run away from your own hands.
No. Did you like, there's like those thumb lock things you could do?
Oh, like stick them together so they
Yeah,
don't
like
do anything.
no, yeah. What was the? So you just had to keep an eye on them. So like, I guess you didn't sleep properly either. I guess is it because they're there?
I managed to kind of snap myself out of it every time. Sometimes by writing, like really furiously writing about what was happening.
Yeah.
I feel like writing just saves everything. And sometimes just by, mindfulness, wank, not wanking. That would have been horrible. Like that thing would make your hand go numb, but really horrible.
I knew I couldn't trust you. Goddamn hands. Evil devil makes work for idle fingers. God damn it.
That's what you wanted.
Please say you've written a show about this, please.
I'm so going to.
Oh, brilliant.
I will. Just like mindfulness and writing, and then also I've got a tattoo on one of my arms, so I'd like look at the tattoo and be like, well, that's my arm, because I remember getting that tattoo. And I'd follow it up and be like, that's my wrist, and then I'd be like, that's probably is my hand, actually. Looking at the evidence, it seems to be
connected. Yeah, gloves would be a bad thing to wear, I guess, isn't it?
It's like a disguise. It's like a balaclava.
I see what you're trying to do, hands. Yeah, that's right. Oh, so would you know the name of this thing?
Well, my dad looked it up and thought it was alien hand syndrome, but I think that's when they do move independently. I think it's something like disassociation.
Okay, that's it. And like, were you like, I mean, I guess you could blame your hands for things as well. It's like, oh yeah, of course you chose that stupid program on Netflix, that kind of thing. Is it this kind of thing?
Yeah, I suppose there would be perks.
Yeah,
if you really look for them.
Look, I'm too much of an optimist. It was like, so how long did that last?
That was off and on for maybe 2 months.
Oh wow!
But then I was allowed to be in a bubble, and I went to my friend's house, who's the best person ever, and his parents are both therapists, so they helped a lot. Wow,
you really lucked out with that, didn't you? God, that's
so ideal.
Jesus. So yeah, I mean, that's busy. That's a good couple of months kind of like sorting yourself out with that. I mean, and then how did they, I mean, if you want, I'm just want to kind of probe into this a bit further. Is that okay, Stephanie?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, just into your sadness. So your hands, what did they do to associate yourself with your hands again?
His stepdad said that my hands, he said they were really pretty hands, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And then also that friend, we're very touchy-feely with each other. I like to have sexually confusing friendships with boys, and we're very physical with each other, so it was nice to just stroke his head and be like, oh, my hands can do nice things, and to reinforce that I could have like a nice relationship with them. Oh, it sounds so mental.
No.
Let's steer into the skid, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's no, but So you just basically treating your hands to, showing your hands that they can be loving too. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Your self-loathing is concentrated in your hands.
Yeah.
It's
really, I found it so fascinating because I've had friends who've had psychotic type experiences before where their brain tells them something that isn't true, and I've always been so kind of felt like I've been being empathetic and being like, oh, that must be awful, but then to have it happen, I was so shocked by just the power of my own brain that it was able to convince me so much that it looks like they're yours, but they're a threat and you watch them, and it was so believable. Even though I knew it wasn't true, I just didn't feel like it wasn't true. You're
totally out of control of your own mind. You can't even control your own mind, isn't it? That's terrifying. That is you're like, great, okay, that's fixed. What's next, isn't it? It's like, well, what new hell is next? I've done my hands. Okay, great. Oh, Jesus, that is.
I put it a little bit in my tongue and my mouth as well a couple of times. And I was like, well, it's too close to my brain.
I've had that when, like, you know, you say some stuff that you don't want to say. You go, it just goes, "Bleh." And I'm like, why did I don't even know why I said that. This doesn't make any sense. And then, you know, you just lose friendships so often that way. And I'm kind of like,
I've heard that about you.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know from who, because there's no friend told you. Friends are gone, long gone. Was it like? But it's that kind of you know, you kind of look back and go, God, why did I even say that? I was, because you just like spliced two thoughts together with a relationship with different people that you would thought would have worked in the same situation, and you go, no, those people aren't privy to that culture of what you just said, but you've tried to fucking try to crowbar both of those things into this one sentence and try to be funny, but it hasn't come off that way. You just come off like an arsehole.
Or you forget that you have different boundaries with different people.
Yeah.
Because I have so many friends I'm really mean to, and then I speak to a colleague and I'm like, you can't call this person a twat. They're not going to like it.
Totally. Yeah, come on. That's it. It's just you know, brain fart, isn't it? So lots of material there then.
Yeah, there has to be. You have to make
it's
it funny.
Amazing.
Don't you? How do you cope?
God Almighty, that's brilliant. So I'll tell you about me. I found out this lockdown, I was nothing like what you had. It's not. I'm not going to try and compete. I'm just going to tell you, okay?
Okay. All
right. So I was like started running a lot in lockdown because I was trying to escape my life and the lockdown. And then I was walking out to do some sort of weird video for an audition, and so I got my wife to film my walk, and so we looked it back. I said to her, "Why am I dragging my left leg?" And she's like, "I thought that's just the way you walked." And I was like, "No. I don't drag my left leg. I don't walk like I've been shot like 9 times." And so anyway, I had to go to the chiropractor, and it turns out, and this guy was like a blonde fella from New Orleans, American accent. And of course, as soon as I'm sitting in the room, I'm just thinking to myself, this guy reminds me of Shopping Channel. And whatever he says, I won't believe him, because I think he's trying to sell me some sort of like, you know, new system that's going to save my life and like, you know, I'll live forever. And so I didn't believe anything he said. And then he was like, here, we'll do an x-ray. So anyway, do an x-ray. I was like, yeah, you know, I'll probably be fine. And, you know, just the fact I'm dragging my left leg. But he weighed have you ever been to a chiropractor?
No.
Right, you're lucky. So you basically, they weigh you. They've got 2 scales, and you stand in the middle of 2 scales. And if you are within 2 kilos on each leg, you're grand. I was like 12 kilos on my left leg.
Like more on your left than on your right.
That's right. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably be fine. I thought I'd be grand. And so I did the x-ray, and it turns out I've got fractured L3. So I was like, oh, okay. So I've got a broken...
Is that a bit of spine?
Yeah, that's right. The bottom, the lumbar, the third lumbar in lower back. And I was like, oh man. As I was running, because I was running, I felt my knees were about to pop off because I was running at such a weird angle. But yeah, that was my story. So that's what I found out. I found out in the lockdown that I was broken.
So how did you fracture your spine and not notice?
I think it happened when I was stupid, when I was about, 13, jumped off, you know, Tragumna. All right, well, not far. If you go, you know, you go to Lochine, it's the other way. You know, I think it's if you go past. Oh yeah, if you know where you are with the McMurphy's place. Mm-hmm. If you keep going past McMurphy's place, you get to Trag. It's a small little beach, and there's a wall up there. It's about maybe 20 foot, and you can jump off that. And like I've jumped off it fine, never dived off it. Thought I'll just dive off, it'd be grand. I've seen everyone else doing it into a really shallow bit of water. Yes, good idea. Anyway, so jumped off, and then I lost my formation on the way down like a fool, and then my chest hit the water and my legs went over my back, and I heard a crack, and I was like, oh, that kind of hurts, and I was really a lot of pain. I managed to like doggy paddle to the side, and then I couldn't walk properly for about a week. My mom was like,
You didn't walk properly for about 20 years.
No, but I didn't. Yeah, but I kind of carried on. But your body, you know, adjusts until you get to a certain age, and then just goes. By the way, I'm not helping you with this anymore. That's it. You know, I've done what I can, and then you know, you just so anyway. So that's. And then I couldn't walk properly for about a week. So I was in bed, and I was like, my mom thought. I said to my mom, "You know, I got a fractured L3. I told her recently." And she's like, "I just thought you were putting it on." I was like, oh, thanks, Mom. Thanks for the sympathy. So it was like, yeah, that was fun. But anyway, so that's my story. So that was my pain. Nothing like yours. I mean, mine's all internal, you know. But I don't think mine's maybe mine's a Fringe show. I don't know if it is broken back. You know, we'll see. It's to turn up in a wheelchair and then at the end, and now I'm cured. After the chiropractor be there shaking my hand, so yeah. But
I like that you've had basically sort of an elephant man walk for all this time, and everyone's been too polite to tell you.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, that's why when I'd walk onto the stage, they were looking at me weird. I think that's what it is. I was like, oh, so they're like, oh, when that, it was like the first like 30 seconds is the most important. Oh man, this guy's got something wrong with him. I don't know what it is. He doesn't even know. Does he not know he's walking like that? He's a hand up onto that stage. I mean, he doesn't even have a built-up shoe. That's what.
This must be a Make-A-Wish walk.
Totally. We won't laugh. We'll just, we'll have a moment of silence for when he does die. Oh, he's dying now. That's great. Fantastic. So, lots of material there. It's great. So, Stephanie, how long have you been going?
It will be 14 years next month.
Oh, wow. 14 years. Yeah. What's your birthday?
I don't know exactly. Somewhere in the middle of April.
So middle of April. Okay. Do you remember what your first gig, where it was?
Yes, it was at a place called Snafu in Aberdeen.
Ah.
A little bar downstairs. I got very drunk and I sang a song that I'd written when I was 16 called Jim the Newt.
Right.
About a newt called Jim.
Yeah.
It was to the tune of Jingle Bells. And they laughed. And I remember thinking, that's nice.
Yeah.
I think I might have to do that forever. Yeah.
You're doing French and English in. I mean, that's a lovely general degree that can get you any work anywhere, isn't it? Really, as well.
Oh, so vocational. Yeah.
Yeah. Any work.
Employment central.
I mean, I'm looking at this from a media studies or a media team.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm so much more employable than you.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, you are.
I mean, I can read, so.
That hurts so much. Oh, it was so expensive. It was such an expensive waste of time. But yeah, so people think the Fringe is expensive. Jesus Christ, those media degrees. What are you talking about? Like, that first gig went great, yeah, and you had the bug. But did you ever have that in your head you were going to do that? You just got drunk and was like, well, got the confidence now. Here we go. Just took it a chance.
It wasn't something I ever wanted to do. I was brought up on comedy, and I have a very funny family who they're not the kind of people who laugh out of politeness. They only laugh if it is funny. So I think I was brought up just trying to make people laugh. And then a couple of nights before I did the gig, I ran into some people who were flyering for a comedy show for the show. And because I was really drunk, I was like, I can't do a bit. And then I sang them Jim the Newt in the street.
Wow.
And they were like, do that.
Great.
I would do that.
Did you write like skits or something for your family? Did you have like before you went to school, did you like kind of like rehearse your conversation?
Well, me and my best friend Charlotte used to write funny songs together. We were massive losers who just used to sit in the corner and talk about and do like quotes from Monty Python.
Oh, cool. Great.
And we also wrote the school pantomime in the year that we left school.
Wow.
So we definitely loved writing together.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted to be in a double act, actually, now I think about it. I've always wanted to be in a double act. But she's very shy. She would never want to be on stage. So, well, I can't be Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah.
Leave that.
Could go by yourself and just, you've done it. We've already written a play together. That's it. That we've done what we can. You got to just time to move on. You've got to, spread your wings and fly, right?
Yeah, I've outgrown you, Charlotte.
We could still be friends. And like, were you just like the outsiders in school, the other in the corner, like, writing your kind of
definitely weird
stuff? Yeah. Cool.
People always used to say like, why are you so quiet? That's the thing people used to say.
Terrifying them with like silence and just stares.
Yeah, we'd be like completely silent and then suddenly be like, oh, we've written this new song, now you have to listen to it.
Great.
And then we'd sing them the song and then we'd not speak to them again until we'd
Brilliant.
written another song.
And what was the first song you wrote?
Jim the Newt.
Oh, that was Jim the Newt. So that was the very first one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
16. Amazing.
You hit the top straight away. Have you performed it recently?
Yes, it was in my last solo show.
Amazing.
And I sang it, and then I sang it again and accompanied myself on the flute, which is hard.
Yeah. Did you do it with a loop machine or something?
No, it was like I mean, this is audio. I'll try it now.
Yeah.
You're so like, you know?
Yeah. Right.
It's so hard. And
Wow.
I tried my absolute best every night to do it.
Fair play.
There's something really funny about trying to do something that's completely impossible, but 100% committing to it and being like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can sing and I can play a wind instrument at the same time. Don't you fucking think I can't? And
That's
you will watch me and pay for it.
How many solo shows have you done now?
4.
What are they?
First one was Nincompoop, and that was about shame. Second one was Mad About the Boy, and that was about domestic abuse and mental health.
Right.
It's fun topics. Quitter was about me quitting everything, so like alcohol, cigarettes, caffeine. I gave up monogamy for a bit.
Right.
Interesting. And then the last one was just a compilation of everything. It's like a best bits called Butterfingers.
Is the last show the one you liked the most?
Quitter was the one I liked
Quitter.
the most.
And are you still completely teetotal now?
Yes.
No tea or coffee, anything?
I did actually give up caffeine at the same time as alcohol.
And god damn it, what did you do? Like, I mean, that would be my crutch is tea. I drink so much tea. I've got a cup of tea on the go right now. I was right here with me. You know what I mean?
Bedtime, Winter. What are you doing?
Don't say that, Stephanie. I can do this. I can sleep on this now. You know, it's like just, I've got bags that are shaped like tea underneath my eyes. You know, it's like just I'm becoming the same color. But yeah, so like, what did you do? What do you just? How do you just have more energy, or you just sleep?
So I have quite a sensitive little brain.
Right.
So if I have caffeine, I get really paranoid and jittery.
Oh, yeah.
And then I get really sad when I come down.
Oh.
So I just don't have ups and downs so much anymore.
Oh,
I wake up and I have energy, and then when it gets to bedtime, I'm tired.
Okay.
It's really nice. It's ideal, really.
That sounds like a life of bliss. I think maybe I should start doing that. No, it doesn't work. Tea, it doesn't work that way with me. But coffee, God, that's the first when I started drinking coffee, I went full out on it, like just OD'd on it, like just loads of coffee. And then two days later, massive crash, sad, depressed, you know, and just was like, I need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why am I doing this to myself? Yeah, this is not fun. It's not a fun game. Favorite show was Quitter. Where'd you take that to? Where'd you take that? Did you take this to the Fringe or where?
Quitter I did in Edinburgh, Toronto, Australia and New Zealand, and some other festivals in the UK. Because the thing is, there's another comedian who's a really lovely person, but I'm very jealous of her and her career. And I saw loads of photos of her one year in Australia, and I was like, oh, she gets to do the coolest things. And I thought, stop being jealous and just also do the thing. Yeah. It's literally just admin. You just have to do admin, and then you get to do stuff. Wow. Like comedy, as long as you're fine at it, you don't even have to be good. As long as you're fine and you've got a little bit of hustle and are willing to do admin, you can do so much stuff that's cool.
That's great. Toronto, amazing. Fun crowds?
Oh, so nice. It's really nice performing somewhere where my accent is charming. Because in the UK, I'm from the south of England, and I sound a mixture of Southern English and London, which is like peak cunt everywhere in the UK. Yeah. So I feel like if I gig up north or in Scotland or anywhere, I just seem like an arsehole straight away because of my accent. But in Canada, they're like, oh my God, she's so sweet. Yeah.
Observation of like, comedy is the only job where in your locality, the bookers will look around and go, God, I'm sick of these idiots. I'm going to import idiots from other places to listen to their point of view in their unique, exotic accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, they've got such a different perspective on the same thing. It's just so...
She's also had relationships and made errors.
Exactly. But it's great. It's great. You got to go out and just be where you got to be. Scarcity, isn't it? That's what it is, eh? The classic business trick. Toronto, did you get any like lovely reviews? I'm sure you did.
Didn't get reviews in Toronto. I did in Australia. Got some nice ones down there.
What'd you have? What's the one that really kind of you hold in your heart?
Oh man, let's see. I can't remember stuff.
Funny.
So funny. People said about me. Ooh, yes.
God damn it, not that one. Not that one.
That was a lie. I edited that so severely.
Oh, there's 5 dots there. What does that mean? Oh, that means it was from another paragraph from a different time.
Yes, just ... performer. That's me.
Date. Oh no.
I used to have a quote on my posters that was, "She came on stage with a stupid hat on." Genuine quote.
Great.
What did I get? I got Wonderful, Frank and Funny from a guy
nice.
at ABC, which is like the Australian.
Wow. Amazing.
BBC. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. And like, what year was that?
That would have been 2018.
Oh, brilliant.
And then I went 19 and 20. So I was stuck in New Zealand at the start of lockdown.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For a bit.
How was that then?
It was very stressful because I didn't want to sort of see out a pandemic. Well, I suppose we didn't know it was going to be like full pandemic. But my flight was cancelled, and then I booked another one, and that was also cancelled. And basically, I just turned up to Flight Centre and was so nice. I feel like a lot of my life is like weaponized niceness. I just spoke to this guy called Josh, who was really sweet, and I was like, "How are you doing? This must be so stressful for you because all these people are trying to get home." And I flirted a bit, showed a bit of leg. No, I did. And then he managed to get me on like the last seat on a flight home. Finally,
nailed it. Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did you have to wait?
It was only 3 days, but I stayed on a stranger's sofa.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
Scary times. But like, so New Zealand, you were out there gigging for doing your show Quitter there as well?
Yeah, Quitter and then Butterfingers. Yeah.
Oh, great. And Butterfingers was just like, I'd say just a bit of fun, just putting them all the best bits together, right?
Yeah, it's just everything that wasn't shit.
Yeah, basically. That's great. What's the show you hated the most?
Oh, no. Oh, I think Mad About the Boy was the worst one. Was it? Oh, no, it was cool. It had a cool ending where I had this boyfriend who was a dick, like a bit violent, but also just really mean to me. And he used to tell me off for how I cut my sandwiches. So I was cutting them into squares.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's really childish. You shouldn't do that. Grow up." And then
Wow.
at the end of the show, as a callback, I always ended the show by cutting a sandwich into squares and eating it on stage. And I was like, "That's a powerful ending, dude."
Yeah.
Visual gag. Strong woman.
No, but like, yeah, I mean, it's is it a metaphor? Is it a metaphor? Is it a metaphor? Yes.
Is it? It's one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. We've all got them. We've all got the shows, but it's like, oh God, I wish I'd never even written that. You know, like just none of it made any sense. I did my first show, which was on, it was called A Side Effect. It was all based loosely actually on lots of Alien references. Alien, the film. And I was like, there was like, no one really got it. Apart from one day, there was one guy who came up to me and said, "I loved it. I loved every reference in there." And I was like, yes, this is for you, buddy. This one is for you.
He's your audience.
Yeah, totally. It's not economically viable though, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah. So Stephanie, tell me about your worst gig then.
Well, my worst review, start with that one. I did a 2-hander with a friend in Edinburgh in 2012. We got a 1-star review that ended with the sentence, "Waste of time."
Oh God.
And,
oh God damn.
And we read the review and we were like, that is accurate. That's what we did. Wow, that's fair.
Oh, man.
It was really bad. We split an hour and I at the time only had 7 minutes of material.
Yeah.
So I do my 7 minutes, including Jim the Newt.
Right.
And 3 other songs. And then my friend would just have to come up and fill the final 50 minutes.
Oh, wow.
When he also technically only had about 7 minutes of material. It was awful. I had a really quite offensive joke that I used to do.
Yeah.
You know, people grow, and I think that's good. I think there has to be space for that.
Yeah.
I had just an offensive joke about blind people.
Right.
I don't know. That was bad. And then during my set, just as I did that joke one day, a blind guy walked in and sat in the audience, and I was like, "Oh, what have I done with my life? I need to just fix this."
Did you commit to it though? Did you commit to it?
I didn't realise until afterwards that had happened. And Martin was like, "Do you know why it went really quiet partway through?" Worst gig I ever did probably was in Ipswich, and I was quite new, and the opener didn't turn up, so they just put me on to do 20 minutes at the start. And, it was so bad. I used to ask the audience at that point. I used to ask the question, the audience, "Do you have any big regrets?"
Yeah.
And I asked that, and somebody stood up to say, "Yeah, watching you." Yeah, it wasn't good.
No. That's nice, isn't it? Wow, what an encouraging thing to say. Yeah.
And I had a gig not that long ago, probably about 2 years ago, in Essex. I am a good comedian, I promise. Yeah. But I did a gig in a pub, and it was so quiet that about halfway through, I heard a woman mutter, "Oh dear."
Oh God.
She muttered it, and I heard it.
They are tough. They're a tough crowd, though. They're a tough crowd to please sometimes. They want sometimes really just filthy stuff, don't they?
That's
really.
What I've got.
Oh yeah?
My tone. I'm disgusting.
And they went, "Oh dear. Oh, wrong Essex crowd. Slightly upper class Essex."
I was talking about my vagina non-stop.
Oh my God. What is wrong? What do they want? What do they want?
What more could I give them other than my body parts laid bare?
True. It's very true. But I mean, like you've performed in the Laugh Factory in LA as well, and UCB in New York. I mean, wow, amazing. So tell me what they're like.
Oh, well, UCB was really lovely. The only gig I did in New York. It was like an all-female show. Really lovely. I thought it would be really hard because I've heard that American audiences don't like self-deprecating material. And that's basically my brand, really. That was really nice. And then actually the LA one was quite bad because it was an open mic. So it wasn't paid.
Yeah.
It was just my agent trying to make me look cool.
Amazing.
But it was. Have you ever gigged in LA?
No, I haven't. But it's on the list. I've got a few places I want to go around to. But yeah, so go tell me.
So at the open mics, everyone puts their name in a bucket, so you don't know when you're going to be on, and you don't know if you're going to be on. So they have room for about probably 40 or 50 people on a show, and you do 3 minutes each. And there's just no guarantee that you're going to get on because so many more people would have put their name in a bucket. So it's a 4-hour show, 3-minute sets, no intervals. And I think I went on like third from the end, and everyone, as soon as they've been on, they just go home because it's so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
So I did a set to like about 10 comedians, all of whom were just angry that I'd got on and they hadn't. And you weren't really listening.
Oh no, that's it. Well, that's not within your control whatsoever at all. You know, it's just like, well, you know, that's it.
Now I get to say on my CV that I performed at the Laugh Factory in LA.
Amazing.
People can pretend like that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Look, you got to put yourself out there, man. That's what it is. You know, you just got to do all these gigs, and you know, you kind of sometimes you go, and you get to the gig and go, whoa, that wasn't what I expected it to be, but I've done it now. You don't have to go back, you know. But it's these things, isn't it? It's like, you know, you step on the stage. Yeah, but put a foot on the stage. I was on there. It's on that stage. It's fine. That's it. I sat in it. Shared the stage, you know, with whatever. But you know, it's so. Have you been doing any, like, have you written any sitcoms or anything like that recently, or have you been writing with anyone else?
I've been. The people at. I don't know if anything's going to come of this. It's super cool. The people of Have I Got News for You asked me to send them a few pages of jokes.
Oh, great.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah.
I sent that a couple of weeks ago. I'm just sort of waiting to hear if anything will come of it. I loved the jokes that I wrote. Brilliant. And I was just sitting alone in my flat, like cackling and applauding myself like a seagull, just thinking no one's ever going to laugh at these as much as I do. And I was being so childish because I thought, should I be Have I Got News for You, or should I be me as I would honestly behave on Have I Got News for You? And I was like, I would grubby up the joint. I know I would, so I might as well be honest about that. Like, this is the thing that you will get if you book me for it.
Great. Oh, that's really exciting. Well, fingers crossed for that. That's brilliant. Are you writing the new show coming up, or is that about the Hands?
I will write a new show. I think it's going to be about fear.
Okay, cool.
So I think the hands will definitely fit into that.
Yeah.
I can't write by myself, and I mostly write on stage.
Yeah.
So I just haven't really written anything in lockdown. I've done a couple of online gigs that I wrote sort of during. So I got maybe 5 minutes of material about fear from them.
Okay, cool.
Until I'm actually performing live, I just don't think I'm going to come up with anything new. I don't know. I mean, it's a bit bad, maybe.
No, but it's nice to have a break, isn't it? Sometimes as well. But I mean, it's going on a bit now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You kind of the first lockdown. So yeah, that's enough now. Okay, I need to kind of start doing something. My mind start eating itself.
Yeah, I've learned about myself. Can we move on?
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to spend any more time with myself at all. I get that. Yeah, that's it. It's
We've all got enough character now.
Yeah, that's it. With me, I found out I'm broken inside, but I kind of knew that already. That's fine. So yeah, with the that's amazing though. I got news for you. God, I love that show. It's brilliant. Who do you write with then? It's just you don't write with them. You say you don't write alone, but you write on stage. Do you write with anyone at all?
I write sort of at friends.
Oh, great.
So I meet up with people and just sort of say, can I just talk about this topic at you?
Great.
And if anything funny comes out, I'll note it down. Because I just think it's a verbal medium, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think if you write on paper first, it's always going to feel like a script.
Yeah.
So you have to say it out loud first, otherwise you lose the naturalness and like your natural kind of cadence and how you speak.
That connection.
Yeah.
That's great. So so just constantly beating your friends over the head with your anecdotes. Yeah, just listen to this. I love it. It's gotta be done. It's gotta be done. It's fun. It's fun for you. That's the main thing. Like, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Can we just get a coffee, please? That's it. I asked the question everyone I have on the show. I've gone 14 years. I first met you at Michael. Oh God, but I've forgotten his last name. You know who I mean? Michael Longhair. He used to run the Michael Kossu.
Yeah.
The Camden Head.
Oh yes.
That gig there. I think that was really lovely, wasn't it? And unfortunately, there wasn't many people there that night. But that's when I first saw you. And comedian Sean Mio sees himself when he goes onto stage, or going around the country as a gunslinger, a gun for hire. You can be a job, a person, an imaginary animal or real animal, or a spirit animal. What is the thing that you potentially modeled yourself on when you started comedy at the beginning and the middle and now, if you possibly have it might have been the same thing throughout those things?
So like something that captures the essence of I was. To begin with, and I think this is common, I was very sort of derivative of the kind of comedy that I'd grown up on. So I would say I was kind of a John Cleese surrealist, silly, weird little puppy, very likable and odd, but not with much material. Kind of cute and insane. In the middle, I was kind of like a non-threatening sex pest. I went from Jim the Newt, Bob the Leaf, Long John Silver getting eaten by foxes. That was another one of the songs that it did. And the kind of, oh, my dad's a badger, that kind of very silly stuff. To get up my twat, Steph loves the cock, boob squeeze.
Yeah.
So just kind of, but still very cute. So kind of an oversexed baby, maybe in the
middle. Right. It's dark, deliciously dark. Love it.
And now, what am I now? What I would like to be in the future is like kind of a sexy, silly shaman kind of a figure.
Right.
Like I want to be all like Russell Brand without the raping folk.
Yeah.
Can we put? I don't know. That's liable, isn't it? I'm not saying that he does, but I know that I don't.
Right.
God, am I protecting myself legally there?
So what would you be then? So you'd be like, you'd like to be a shaman without the potential cult rapey thing that could potentially go on, right?
Yeah, I want to because I've become in lockdown, maybe to deal with the hand thing, I a lot more spiritual probably.
Oh,
I feel like I want to make the world better, you know,
okay.
with my comedy. And I suppose, comedy sort of does do that anyway, doesn't it? You're
Yeah.
lightening things up and revealing the truth and all that. But I want to be like a traveling bard,
Right.
traveling around the world, popping up in places, being like, "Hey guys, let's just laugh together."
Yeah.
And
Kind of like
just smoke some
connecting,
weed and just like, you know.
fully connecting with them, and like make a sort of like a cult that you can bring joy and happiness to every time you walk in that place.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. That's interesting.
God, I'm so far up my own arse.
That's amazing. God, I mean, I don't think you get any further than that. That is just incredible.
No. I'm so far up there that I've actually gone through and I'm looking out of my own eyes again.
Wow, the circle is complete.
I hate myself right now.
No, that's brilliant.
Any of those things.
It's brilliant. No, it's brilliant. Oh, like, because I mean, I hear myself saying stupid things when I'm asking about comedy. Sometimes I go, "So, what is the narrative of your comedy?" Oh God, I'm going to start punching myself in the throat. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, like that's it. But no, I know what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, you gotta look. I asked you, so you gotta go fully into it. You know.
I'm gonna go back to oversexed baby. I think that's gonna be my plan until I die. I just need to accept what I am.
No, but I love it. But you can reach for that. You can reach for the other thing because you don't necessarily have to end up that way. The final way.
How Sarah Silverman's like, she's like really funny, but she's also quite wise. And you listen to her, and you're like, yeah, good point. And Louis C.K. used to be like that, but not. You know. Things change.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Things just did develop. Yeah, right. That's cool. So fingers crossed with the jokes you sent off and stuff. And so are you going to do the Fringe this year? I mean, if it all thaws and everything, what's your plan for this year?
This year, I've been working on a dance show thing.
Right.
For a couple of years. I am in a double act now, a comedy dance double act called Flip Flop, and so we'll be applying for some more Arts Council funding for that. So hopefully back in rehearsals, dancing around like bellends again.
Yeah.
Not doing Edinburgh because no money.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to be small and a bit rubbish.
And
now I've got this job and I really love it. So maybe I'll do that for a while, part-time.
Yeah.
Do I love it? I don't like being stressed and I don't really like working hard. Maybe I'll quit as soon as comedy comes back. And
so, like, is it incredibly stressful, this community pursuit? All I can think of is the hate crime organising. Yeah, go on. Yeah, it's like, that's not it, Winter. That's not the real thing.
The community death squad.
Yeah, that's it. The community fascist support group that you're, haven't been able to get out much recently. So yeah, it's very depressing for them. Outreach, it's nice. So it's very stressful.
It is, but then it's like, it is good stuff to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just want to be happy and not stressed. I'm so selfish.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck communities. I want to be a comedian and dance around like a twat. I'm
going to create my own community. I don't want to help a community that already exists. Isn't that the mantra for the world at the moment? Isn't it that what it is though? It's like, what's your problem? Okay, well, yeah, that's not my problem. Well, it's kind of like, fuck your problem, isn't it? That's what it is, really, isn't it? I don't have that. I don't feel that. That's what it kind of feels like, is it? Factions and sort of
divided.
Yeah. That's what it's like, I'm going to just look at your Facebook post and I'm going to just cannibalize everything from it, and then maybe I can get more community to surround me.
I removed a comedian on Facebook recently because she posted something and I thought, there's going to be a pylon and I can't be asked to even look at it. I knew that she was going to do one of those posts where there's like 3 likes and 150 comments. God. And everybody in there would make me really fucking angry.
Yeah.
On both sides of the argument, regardless of what I believed, I would just be thinking, you're all just being unreasonable and thinking that you're being good people because you're staying entrenched in your corner and just trying to prove to everybody who's reading that you're a good person.
Exactly.
But without actually going out into the world and doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, staying at home and hating the right people is not the moral choice.
Yeah. And also,
if you're a piece of shit, admit you're a piece of shit and don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, just take that. Just go, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I don't care about anyone apart from me. And I respect your values more than anything else. Do you know? Just because you're not trying to be false and like appear to be nice. What worries me sometimes is that people that appear to be nice, like Mother Teresa, didn't she get done for being a racist? You know what I mean? So you're kind of going, hey, look, guys, who are you trying to fool? Like, if Mother Teresa's a racist, you've got some serious shit going on. Do you know what I mean? Who are you trying to prove that you're like really nice and like, supporting the other side and everything like this? And you're like, what the fuck are you covering up? You got some bodies in your basement. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it's like. So you're writing this dance show, and hopefully you can take it round, right? And like what you're doing with the community outreach support thing, and hopefully just drop that and work on your own community and get your be a cult over sexed baby for a bit until you get the cult thing going on. And I mean, like, shit, you got loads of stuff going on. I mean, this is amazing. You gotta work this out, and then hopefully get on Have I Got News For You? That'd be amazing.
It'd be so good.
Yeah,
because then that would open so many doors, right? Because if you went to like Mock the Week and were like, can I be on? And they were like, no, you'd be like, I've done Have I Got News For You?
Exactly. I've done the politics version of this show, so get the
I've
fuck.
done the one where you got to be smart.
Yeah,
like, real smart.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Paul Merton high-fived. Come on. And the other guy, did something as well.
He made some good points.
Exactly. He was a straight guy. It was great. But no, that's amazing. Stephanie, where can we find you?
Oh, like on social media and that?
Mm-hmm.
Where can you find me? On Twitter, I'm Stephanie_Laing, and on Instagram and Facebook, I'm Stephanie Laing Comedian.
Awesome.
I'm very bad at all social media, so apologies in advance. Good at selling myself.
Don't worry, I'm awful on social media. I deleted my Twitter account and restarted again because I hate myself that much that I wanted to start from the absolute bottom. I have got 52 followers on Twitter. Because I am such a fool. It's like, no, I'm going to delete all this and start beginning.
You're like someone's aunt.
Totally. That's where I'm going for. Family. Keep the family, the community. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for spending the last hour or so with me. It's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. Really nice to talk to you.
And that was episode 116 with the hilarious comedian that she is, Stephanie Laing. Thank you for talking so candidly about your dissociation of your hands. I'm sure at the time it was terrifying, but thank you for making it so hilarious. And I really enjoy talking to you about that in this podcast. She's been on, I say, Wonderful, Frank and Funny for ABC. And you can find her on Twitter as Stephanie_Laing. That's STEPHANNIE_LAING. That's on Twitter, Stephanie_Laing. On Instagram and Facebook, she's there as Stephanie Laing Comedian. So go and find her there, go follow her, and go find out when her next gig is, because she's very, very funny. I had her at my gig. She just absolutely smashed it for the Christmas gig. I think it was last year in 2022, I think it must have been. Yeah, she tore it up, and you will not be disappointed if you go and see her live. So go and check her out, find her stuff, follow her, go stalk her on YouTube, only on YouTube online, but go and see her at a gig. Don't stalk her at a gig, just go and see her at a gig. She is a very, very funny person. And you can also find me. I'm on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok as @WinterDominus. That's WinterDominus. And so I'm there on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And you can also find me on Facebook as Winter Phonander, because the name is in the podcast. And if you like this podcast, you can go to Facebook as well and like the page, and also join the Comedy Defect Facebook group, where I post the podcast first and also gig dates that I've got coming up for my live shows. I run gigs in Hertfordshire, and the first gig I've got coming up at the moment is the one in Redbourne, the first Tuesday of the month, and I will post the gig dates in the Facebook Comedy Defect group there, so if you want to see the dates come up there. And I got people from Live at the Apollo, people that are breaking into TV, and people that are brand new as well. They're just getting their comedy legs and, building up their comedy chops. So that is the first Tuesday of the month if you want to come see live comedy. And you will find all my stuff and content online there if you want to find it. And if you like this podcast enough and you want to donate, you can go to Patreon, type in the Comedy Defect Podcast, donate as much as or as little as you feel this podcast is worth. If you can't donate, that's all right. Just tell your friends about your favorite episode, because it tells people where we are and what we are up to. But, if you don't want to do that, that's all right. I don't want to give you more work to do. There's enough to do in the world. Until Next month, we have, for September's episode, we've got the excellent Zara Barry. Now, that is for episode 117. So that is at the end of September, last Wednesday of the month. Until then, I hope you enjoy the rest of the summer and it's going all right for you. You have as many barbecues as you can. And, you're just enjoying yourself, going on holiday and just kind of relaxing. Look, this is the time for it. Until the last Wednesday of the month in September, we'll see you then.